Come on, Fitzy. Well, come on, Fitzy. Come on, Fitzy.
Are we there?
Yeah, the microphones are on. Do you want to do the intro?
I'll do the intro, Brogan. First of all, apologies for the delay. We had graphics, software issues. We had to update the stream. All these kind of things went on. Brogan is now back on camera. We are here. We are live. So today, we are going to go through RGames. We're going to review the project. It is a startup on GateIO. Underneath the stream, you will see the GateIO link for those of you that are not watching on GateIO. For those of you that are, we're going to go through the steps to claim the tokens. So what we're going to go through today is we're going to go through the project. We're going to go through what the project is. We're going to go through the white paper. We're going to go through Medium. They've got some articles on there we're going to cover. We're going to look at the team, we're going to look at the roadmap, the tokenomics, and finally we're going to show you how to participate. Step-by-step guide on what you need to do to take part in this project. This token is not live. The token goes live in about 3 or 4 days' time. So this is still in pre-release, pre-launch if you like. So don't go looking for it is what I'm trying to say. It's not there just yet. And I think that's pretty much from the intro. We are running late, but we are going to run hopefully for the full hour anyway. If you are in chat, make sure to say hello, good morning, or should I say good afternoon to Gianni, Velvet Rope, Kishan, Solo Sky, Tariq, Mags. Welcome to everybody who is watching. And let's hopefully get through this together and we will explain through the full deep dive what RGames is. So first of all, Brogan, do you want to start off by, I don't know, should we start with the website?
We can do. Do you want to read the project introduction tiny bit, like have a quick... Do we do the risk warning at the end or at the start?
I think we do the risk warning now. Do you want to do the risk warning? Do you want me to do it?
You can do it. I'll just read the instruction after.
All right.
The person.
So this startup project is still in its initial stage. Factors, including the operation and underlying tech of the project and other related regulatory activities, might contribute to significant risks. Advanced tech and financial knowledge is required to understand and evaluate the inherent risks of crypto assets. The volatility of the market is high and the price of the token might fluctuate drastically due to technical, regulatory and marketing factors. Users may not be able to withdraw all of the purchased tokens due to technical issues of the project or GateIO. So that's the risk disclaimer. Okay. Do you want to do the introduction now?
Yeah, it's very short, but it is a slight introduction. So the project instruction for RGames. A fully customized platform with multiple games built both on Unreal and Unity engines, having interoperable NFTs supported by user-generated content and AI-integrated designs. Okay, very cool. Incorporating a lot of modern tech and AI designs. Okay, yeah. Very, very cool. So the founder, blockchain expert, founded a game studio with 50,000 plus registered players and generating over $3 million USD in business revenue. So he's a veteran obviously he founded the game studio, but he's also a blockchain expert. So he
Yeah.
is well vetted or well versed
Versed.
into what needs to be, the aspects of a founder which needs for a game like this and a company and a project like RGames. So it sounds pretty good stuff. Obviously, do we have a link to maybe like a LinkedIn, or is that just throughout? We're just doing the team and whatnot.
Yeah, when we get to the team element, the team is covered in the white paper.
Okay.
So I think the first thing to do is bring up the very snazzy website.
Yes, it's a very cool website. It's a very, very cool website.
It's a very, very cool website. Now, first of all, as I said at the beginning, the token isn't live yet. It goes live in 3 days, 21 hours and 35 minutes from now. So that is about 11 o'clock on Monday, is that? I think it goes live on Monday, the 8th of April. That's when the token will go live. And if you click the alpha version, which is on the right-hand side,
Yeah.
this is the exciting bit. I only found this while I was
Oh.
doing my research. In an hour and a half, Tariq, from this video, you will be able to go and play the open alpha test. This is launching in time. So in an hour and a half, you'll be able to actually physically go and play the game and make your own mind up, see if you like it or you don't like it. But yeah, like Brogan said, the first thing about I'm watching on there, Tariq, and it's working. Do you want to hit refresh?
Oh, he's probably lagged a bit.
Yeah.
Towards...
You might have lagged. Just do a quick refresh.
Yes, drag it across and it'll be here.
Yeah. So this is the website. I think the most important thing about this website is it's fully lays out everything to do with the project, including the tweets about the project. So it's got news and updates on it. It has all of the different vehicles you can drive. You can have a bike. You can have a Formula One car. You can have an off-road 4x4. You can have an armored. Now, the armored vehicle is my favorite.
That is very, very cool.
That is very, very cool. I'm not the Tron-esque bike. I think would be too dangerous. I don't think I'd do well in a Formula One. But if you give me a car with a massive machine gun on the front of it, I think that's the car I'd be driving. So basically, this is a competitive racing game. You've got street racing, time trials, story modes, weaponized vehicles, everything you want. And what it tries to do is combine Web 3 with Web 2. And if you've watched us talk about Gala in the past and Immutable X and those tokens, having Web 2 games with Web 3 tech, whether it be tokens, whether it be NFTs, that seems to be a happy medium, especially for people like Steam and Epic Games that have existing games. They want to bring NFTs in. So for me, I'm pretty impressed with the layout of the website. Obviously, we cannot see the gameplay itself at this moment in time, but we will get there in an hour and a half, and maybe we can make a follow-up video on it. So that's pretty much the website. What we've got as well underneath the video, we have a link. So you've got the RGames website underneath, which is r-games.tech. That's their website. It's in the description below if you want to go and check them out. Now, do you want to start going under the bonnet, if you pardon the pun, of this game?
Sure. Where?
Should we look?
Oh, the summer. There we go.
Should we start with the white paper?
Right, yes. Okay.
Or would you rather start... Actually, let's start with the news, because there's an article that I want to go through. Let's start with that first.
Okay, I'll go back to the website then.
Yeah. So I'm going to take you through the website. Because this kind of highlights a few things. Now, don't stay on the image too long. Scroll down a bit for me. Thanks.
There you go.
So RGames is the world's first AI and gaming token, and it's going to launch on Solana. Now, we are both massive Solana bulls, are we not?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So RGame, the token, is poised to transform the gaming industry with AI, precise engineering, and racing. It is the most hyped AI and GameFi project of 2024, an innovative gaming platform sent to launch on 2 chains, BSC and Solana. Great choices, in my opinion.
Yep.
Cheap, easy to use, quick, and also massive user bases.
Yep.
It's on the cusp of a groundbreaking milestone as it gears up for the listing of its native token. As the token is going to launch on April the 8th, like we've said, the platform has already garnered significant traction with partnerships in progress with prominent automotive brands. By the way, BMW is one of them.
What?
They are partnered with
part
BMW.
of BMW.
Switch
What?
back to the website very quickly
Yeah.
and go all the way down to the bottom and you will see the partners. They're up there. Is BMW not on that page? Because it was. Maybe it'll refresh in a second.
Oh, you can drag it along.
Yeah. BMW is one of the partners. Honest, I've seen it with my own eyes. I know it's there. So they've got big partners.
BMW Capital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they've got 50,000 gamers from Fabelt Studios, 300,000 gamers onboarding from WeMix Play. Additionally, collaborations with over 100 calls. That's a key opinion leader, Brogan.
Right.
Do you consider yourself to be a call?
I think I'm definitely. I think I'm a leader in a lot of things.
Well, you're the Oracle.
Exactly. The Oracle. I think I'm the leading member of, obviously, technical analysis.
So you are the key Oracle leader.
Yeah, I'm
That's
the leader of key opinions. I'm not just a key opinion leader. I'm
Exactly.
the leader of key opinions.
Exactly. So they've got the influencers on board. They've got gamers on board from 2 different places, and the details down below, which you don't need to bring up because it's got names on there we don't want to mention.
Right, okay.
I'm just going to go through it. It's 10 o'clock UTC on the 8th of April, which is Monday. Now, how do we know the 8th of April is Monday, Brogan?
Because the day after
Because the day after
is
the Oracle dings.
going from 1,276 years old to 1,277 years old.
So the token's fully diluted valuation will be $7.5 million with an initial market cap of $300,000. Now, for me, that's a massively undervalued project in my eyes. $7.5 million fully diluted. Obviously, they're only going to launch with $300,000 worth of tokens, which we're going to talk about in a minute when we go through the tokenomics. But, and again, I'll go through some of these for you. Some of the advisors are BMW Capital, like we've said. In there, you've got Mario Noal, who's a very big social media guy. You've got Ferrum Network. I've heard of them before. It's going to be, I think, a decent project. And the thing is, the proof is in the pudding. And until we taste the pudding, we don't know whether it needs seasoning or not, do we? Exactly. So the alpha version, which is what we just looked at before, that's going to launch in the first week of April, having undergone extensive testing within their close-knit community. That's what's going to go live in an hour and a half from now. So half an hour from the end of this video,
Right.
Tariq will be able to get his hands on an armoured 4x4.
Very cool.
I think that's very cool. That makes up for the lack of Tesla that we haven't sent him. But we'll get there. So looking towards the future, RGames has ambitious plans in store. Development efforts are focused on implementing upgrades to the system, the virtual garage, and AI integration. Now, we talked a lot on this channel before about AI, and AI is clearly going to be the future of gaming. We've talked about Grand Theft Auto 6 before. We've talked about other games before introducing AI. And if you've got a racing game that's got AI fully integrated into it, it's going to absolutely melt faces. So they've got 3 models, by the way. They've got develop to earn, watch to earn, and play to earn.
Right.
Now, watch to earn
is
interesting because I think what that means to me is they're looking at some kind of competitive esports for this in the future.
Yeah. I assume it's probably some sort of like similar system to Twitch drops. Like if you ever watched Twitch streams, some games do like Twitch drops where you can get in-game like items or whatnot, or just like additional things from different games if you watch streams based on that game. I think another project did that as well with their game. But
I know which one you mean exactly. So that sounds interesting. What we're going to do in a minute, I think we're going to jump straight to tokenomics in a second because we need a lot of racing games, a lot of FPS games, a lot of card games. The token tends to be a race to zero. So what we need to do is we need to go and have a look at how the tokenomics are going to work to, is there going to be burn involved? Is there going to be a slow token unlock? How does the token hold its value? So we're going to go and have a look at that in a minute. But before we do, last thing to point out is the different modes. Formula 1, street racing, story mode, and off-road racing are going to be the 4 types. The alpha version, which you'll be able to play in about an hour from now, that is circuit racing. So that'll be racetracks that you can go around, and I am probably going to sit there watching Countdown, driving a car around the track and really test it out and see how it works. So that's really it from the article that I wanted to cover off. I think that gives us a really good idea of where the project is. So before we go off, there's two different tokenomics. There's an image, and then it's in the white paper. I don't know which one is in the link in front of you, if you want to bring them up.
What, tokenomics?
Yeah.
Already, okay.
We're jumping back and forth
Yeah.
because we're trying to do this in a logical fashion.
Right, so let me go all the way down to tokenomics. There we go. So,
Right, so
I've got the image right now.
We've got the image. So after we've gone through the image, we're going to go and have a look at the white paper. So if you want to bring the white paper up in the background as well, I'll go through the tokenomics of the game. So there's going to be 1 billion tokens. That's neither here nor there these days. The pre-seed, the seed, private is only 20%. Right. For me, that's a positive. What you don't want to see is 20% private, 15% seed, and 15% pre-seed, because on the day of launch, what's going to happen? They're going to dump all their tokens onto you, right? So that's a good sign. 12% open to the public, 10% for the team, marketing and advisors 5% each, staking and farming incentives 20%. So that's obviously where they're going to see token inflation over time. And then liquidity at 19% is when they start to list on different dexes and things like that, and obviously different exchanges. So all in all, not a bad set of tokenomics. But if you go to the white paper and go down to tokenomics, let's see if there's anything else in there. So if you go to the white paper,
I can't scroll. Oh, it's not scrollable one. You can just have to click. Okay, so token allocation. That's the most. It's in-game economy.
Go to in-game economy. I think we'll start with that. So basically, the breakdown is pretty of the tokens is fine. The in-game economy. Do you want to run through some of this, or do you want me to keep going?
Yeah, I'll just go open up this image. I think the image is like the main front. Obviously, there's like words and whatnot. Okay, this is not interesting. So, RGames creates a self-sustaining ecosystem that will drive growth and engagement within the game. Players have the opportunity to earn game currencies that can be used to upgrade various aspects of their vehicles and NFTs or traded. The upgrades available include improving the engine, power, speed, acceleration boost, NFTs, accessories, and skins. These provide players with a compelling reason to continue playing and engaging with the game, as they can use their earned currency to make their vehicle and NFTs more powerful and unique to trade them on centralized exchanges or decentralized exchanges. That's good. I like that, because I know some games have done that before.
Yeah.
But I don't really see a lot of actually good games who do that, mainly.
No.
So it's good to see. And obviously it does add more. I think the main important part for me anyway, for NFT games, is the why would I hold the currency? Why would I want to earn the currency? Because if you have a currency which doesn't mean anything and you just have it, you might as well just play a normal game and not waste hundreds of dollars on NFTs and pre-sales. But in this case, it seems like there's actually a valid system for upgrading NFTs and being able to sell that to other people who might want to buy a better car and whatnot. So I'm glad they've got a system like that.
Exactly. I mean, the thing for me is, I talk about this all the time. The tokenomics of games is a race to zero, unless they do it properly. It always has been. For any game you want to look at, tokens race to zero. And the reason it's a race to zero is there's no reason to hold the token or spend the token, because you just get all of these emissions from winning a race. You get, $1 for winning a race. What do? You sell the token, you take the $1 out. But you need the marketplace, you need the upgrades, you need the loot boxes. Why do you want to buy a loot box? Because you could win a $25 skin for your car, which you can then sell on the marketplace. But you sell it on the marketplace for tokens, then there's a transaction fee involved, and it all creates a burn mechanism to stop the token from deflating. We've seen it with other tokens where what they've done is they've cut their emissions, and they've cut their emissions by making you buy the game with the token. So it puts demand for the token in, but then burns the token, when you buy the whatever it might be, the car or the spaceship. So you need the marketplace, you need a burn, you need a reason for the loot boxes, you need the skins, you need all of that. And the NFTs for me are important because you've got interoperability, haven't you?
Yeah.
You could take this skin to a different game, or you could bring different games to this in the future. You know, you could drive around in your Fortnite skin in RGames, or you could Call of Duty skin in RGames. And that's obviously far off in the future, but it's something that when they look at this, everybody gets rewarded.
Yeah, and what I like is obviously I know NFTs and their systems can be made differently from one another, and we talk about interoperability, obviously being able to apply the NFTs you earn in one game into a different game. And what I think is made that easier is the fact that it's been made in Unreal Engine. It makes, with Unreal Engine, obviously I have my gripes with Unreal Engine, but at the same time it does allow you to make a really good looking game quite easily and quite sustainably.
Yeah, exactly.
And importantly, I believe there's like a Solana, there's like an SDK, a software development kit, which was, I believe, designed by another place, and basically allows you to make these and interact with Solana. I know Solana. Obviously, there's probably one for Binance as well, makes it easier. But in terms of if all these games start to use the same, similar or same engines, and start to use development kits which are, universally, I believe it's open source, universally attributed to and added to by the community.
Yeah.
They all kind of have the same system, which allows for interoperability to be included into these games so much easier if they all kind of use the same system. So I'm glad they're onboarding these engines. Obviously, like I said, using these high-end engines, it does make some people kind of miss out in terms of if they have a poorer computer.
Yeah.
Playing these games which are so highly graphical based, it might make it very hard to run on some computers. But at the same time, like I said, if all these games start using the same engines and the same systems, it makes for interoperability to be so much easier for all these communities. So I'm glad they're using that. I'm glad they're using Unreal Engine.
Absolutely.
I'm glad they're including interoperability to add value. Yeah, carry on.
No. I was going to say you need that interoperability.
Yeah.
So today I've covered another project which I'm not going to mention the name of, and it's a Web3 gaming platform that allows for interoperability across exchanges and across games and things like that. And it's got zero fees, so it's frictionless. Now, RGames is launched on Solana and BSC, so it's launched on two really quick, really cheap chains. Yeah. But in the next 2 or 3 years, there's no reason why it can't be on AVAX or Cardano or Arbitrum or Optimism or whatever else it might be, because you make these games independent of the chain.
Yeah.
Even though the tokens are in 2 or 3 places, it kind of makes them independent. Now, there is some further deep dive on here that we could do. On the left-hand side, under in-game economy, you have the earning model, you have the business model, you have the tournament revenue, and things like that. So let's go to the business model, because again, we have only got an hour to go over this. We don't have a great deal of time. And the business model, they've got 4 or 5 kind of standard mechanisms for making revenue. NFT sales is, of course, the big one. Selling the skins of the car, selling the turbo boosts, like you said, and things like that. That makes perfect sense. In-game advertising. Think about it. You've got a Formula 1 car driving around, and BMW are paying you to have the BMW logo on the side of the cars. So you've got real-world advertising opportunities there. You've got commission on trades. We've talked about the marketplace, the burn mechanism, things like that. We've got in-game purchases. We've talked about loot boxes. And then you've got the fees collected from garage mechanics. Now, garage mechanics I really like as well, because over time, I imagine your car is going to need repairs. If you've crashed your car, it's going to, require tokens to repair your car and things like that. So the business model makes perfect sense to me. And, there is one game that you covered not so long ago that you explained wasn't a great game because...
Right.
Do you remember which
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And they didn't have any of this.
No, they didn't have a single applicable play to earn type of. Like I said, not too long ago. I think if for the reasons to have NFTs included into games is to have this play to earn, model of being able to sell and trade in a marketplace.
Yeah. Because
if you're making a game which doesn't have that, like I said, then you might as well just make a normal game. It might as well not be a Web3 company. Obviously you can have this oh look, we're applying, anything you buy and earn in the game, you own it. But it's at the same time, if it's not valued anything, there's not really much point of owning it. I might as well just play the game. And it just and it sets the game up for failure, because in years and years and years time, when the servers, like if it's a chronically online game, some games, even though the servers online, that you can play them forever and ever. Some old console games, they're not connected to the internet, and everything is local. So obviously with Web3 games, Web3 isn't, crypto isn't going to blow up tomorrow and like all the servers are going to go offline and everything's going to disappear. But at the same time, if these games aren't kept up running, all this money you put in is going to be gone.
Exactly.
So I think if you don't have a play-to-earn model, and there's no point of having these NFTs, then you might as well just make a normal game, which is locally stored, and then let people enjoy that for themselves. I just don't agree with not having a play-to-earn model in a NFT game, when the whole point of having NFTs is to trade it and have value.
Exactly. And what RGames have said is they've said, Web3 gaming sucks. That's what they've said.
Yeah,
Web3
basically.
gaming sucks.
Yeah.
And the reason it sucks is the games aren't engaging and the games look terrible.
Exactly.
Right? So they've got a 5-step solution, basically.
Yeah.
And their solution is one, Unreal Engine 5, like you've just said. Mechanics of the game based on the competitor's mistakes, which is exactly what you're talking about there, which is there's no play to earn.
Yep.
Play to earn means play to earn, but also play to spend.
Yeah.
That's something that people miss out. And you can't have a game where you're constantly taking money out of the game, because as we keep saying, the coin goes to zero. So you've got play to spend mechanisms in place, the garage and everything else.
Yeah.
The third solution they've got is, we're not just going to give you one game, we're going to give you 5 games. We're going to give you Formula One, we're going to give you battle racing, we're going to give you circuits, we're going to give you all kinds of games. 4, players can influence the game content. I imagine that by holding our game token, you're going to be part of the DAO.
Yeah.
And we've said this before as well. Why do I want to hold this token and not sell it? Well, the reasons you want to hold the token is it's going to go up in value over time, and you get a say in what happens. The player base might turn around and say, these tournaments are too highbrow, these tournaments are too competitive. What we need is like a poker style set of tournaments where you have a ladder, where you can have somebody who's in a basic car with no amendments made to the car, no alterations made to the car, and then go up. So you know what I mean? Like have a what was that word that we used to use for it? Like have a cookie cutter car.
Yep.
With no alterations, and then 8 people go up against each other and somebody wins.
Yep.
So that was another good solution. And then of course, hosting special events. For me personally, if you go back to the original version of, what was that game called? Destiny.
But the first one was the best one ever.
Yeah. Now in Destiny, they launched this game with all of these events, and guess what? They didn't tell anybody about the events. They were just going on everywhere.
Yeah.
Some guy came along and made a Destiny event schedule, and it had tens upon tens of events that were all happening every 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
What does that mean? It means you open the game, you open RGames, you click on tournaments, you see that there's a cookie cutter race in 5 minutes, and you join it.
Yeah.
Right? That is far better than logging into a game and saying on Sunday the 15th of April we're going to have an, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you want to be involved in the tournaments. You don't want to wait 2 weeks to watch 2 other people play the game.
Exactly.
You want to be involved. So I understand their solutions make perfect sense. Again, delivery of all of these objectives, that's where we're going to find out if this is going to be a success or not. But the way that they're going about this, for me, makes perfect sense in terms of they've approached it in the right way. Like we were saying about previous games, what did they do? They got a social media influencer, they got a marketing guy, and one guy that knew a little bit about crypto, and then they thought they could build a Web3 game, and it's going to fail. They haven't done that. We're going to talk about the team in a minute. But what they want to do is provide an ecosystem, a competitive ecosystem for people on blockchains, which isn't going to cost you the earth to play. So it's not on Ethereum, it's not directly on Ethereum layer 1. It's not going to cost you £20 to deposit into the game. And of course, they're going to try and do it using sexy graphics. We've seen some terrible websites for Web3 games, haven't we?
Absolutely. There's been some absolute crap. And sometimes, like, when we look at these games, obviously, no names, but it's just, I just, as I'm talking about it, looking at this website and reading it, I'm thinking, what am I doing with myself?
Yeah.
Like, why am I spending my time on this? Because there's some really low effort games, and ones which really disappoint me. I just think like you're just abusing this section of hope, because there's nothing really out there apart from, obviously, there's good ones coming out which are taking time, because it takes a long time to make a good game.
Exactly.
But there's ones these ones are kind of just really quickly made games, so naffily done, which are preying on the fact that people want these games. So they're promising all these big things because they know everyone's going to flock to it, because everyone is being deprived of a really good game because there's no good games. So people are just making these trash games and just making all this money and just like ignoring the game. And then there's some people who are making games who don't, like we talked about, have no play to earn model. They're not even respecting the whole point of having a free game.
No, they're not.
Which it just annoys me. I don't understand. Like, it's just wasting everyone's time.
Exactly. And I think, as well as having the play to earn, you've got the marketplace where you can buy and sell your NFTs. I mean, the thing is, if you are top tier racing game standard, why are you playing a Web3 game when you can go and enter tournaments, in Web2 games and earn more money?
Yeah, exactly.
If a Web3 game comes along and says, listen, if you play this tournament and you win the Black Panther skin, that's probably going to be worth about $500, and you win a couple of those races, you're making, a good $2,000-$3,000 a month as a gamer.
Yeah.
So having the marketplace to sell these highly prestigious, I mean, they could be one of ones. We've looked at games that have got one of one NFTs. Yeah. You've got limited edition NFTs. You've got packs where you can get different things. So for me, makes perfect sense. Now we've gone completely off track. Yeah. So I'm not going to stop talking for a minute. Where are we back? Where should we be going back to next?
Well, I suppose. Okay, I do want to look at one thing, because there's a black market unique rental system. I want to see rent to earn NFTs. This seems pretty cool.
Rent to earn,
or rent to own.
Oh, rent to own.
And rent, but you can obviously, if you rent it out, you're going to be earning it. So this is. I want to read this out quickly, because this is really unique. And then I suppose we should probably move on to like the team, maybe, and then the roadmap and whatnot.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one, I'm going to read this all out. I'm not going to skip anything. This seems really cool. So, a unique rental system. Unique NFT renting system in this game allows players to rent out NFTs that they own for other players to use. Instead of paying a flat fee for the rental, players will receive 30% of the earnings generated from the use of their NFT. This creates a potential source of passive income from NFT owners, and also provides more options for players who may not be able to purchase NFTs outright. So, the features of the NFT rental system. Customization options allows players to customize their rented NFTs with unique skins, decals, and other cosmetic items. Rental duration. Offer different rental durations, such as daily, weekly, or monthly rentals, giving players more flexibility and control over their NFTs. Rent to own option. Allow players to gradually purchase the NFT that they are renting, giving them the option to eventually own the NFT. Insurance. Offer insurance options to the rented NFTs, protecting players from any damage or loss during the rented period. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Partnership programs. Partnership with other gaming platforms, influencers, and brands to promote the NFT rental system and attract more players. The last one is incentives. Offer rewards and incentives to players who frequently rent NFTs, such as discounts, exclusive items, or early access to new NFTs. So that seems like a pretty cool system.
Now, there's another game that we talk about a lot on this channel that could earn a lot from this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think, as far as I can see, this is something that so many more games should want. Imagine if you've got a fully kitted out Formula One car.
Yeah.
And it's cost you, I don't know, let's say it's cost you $400 or $500 to build out that game.
Yeah.
And somebody comes along and you says, right, I'm going to rent this off you for $10 a week.
Yeah.
That's 100% APR if it was rented out every week. Clearly, it's not going to be rented out every week. But locking that NFT into the platform and allowing other people to use it, and you earn, I mean, you might get the $10 a week and 10-20% of their earnings, from the game.
Yeah.
Or it might be really flexible and say, you rent this off me for a week and we'll split the rewards 50-50. Yeah. Then you've got elite level gamers who don't even have to play the game, don't have to pay anything, but can split the fees 50-50 with the game owner. So you could have maybe 45% going to the gamer, 45% going to the owner, and then 10% actually going back to the platform.
Yeah.
So that makes, that is needed in so many other games that we talk about that we can't mention.
Yeah.
I mean, I've personally got 10 different NFTs that I would rent them out in a heartbeat.
Yep.
Because you own this asset, but you don't have the time. Time is a currency, remember?
Yep.
You don't have the time in your life to spend 8-10 hours a day playing these games when other people have, especially during holidays and things like that.
Yep.
So I really like that idea.
Very, very
Indeed.
cool.
Right, now we need to get back on track because
I am on.
we've only got 25 minutes left.
On the team now. So quickly glance at the team, roadmap, and then the outro stuff, participation and whatnot.
Okay.
So we have these images, but I think these images are on the website anyway. So I'm going to move away from the white paper area for the team. I'm going to go to the main area. I think it's in bigger if we go to the main area. There we go. So we can see here. There's more people. So I think we can click them. So we see the images. So these are the people.
Yeah.
There we go. So we've got the co-founder here, automotive. So this is blockchain, automotive, game designer, and entrepreneur. So I assume automotive is aware and understands how cars work, probably.
Yeah.
Which is good. I suppose you do need a car expert if you're making a car game. We've got another co-founder who is into digital technology. So in general technology, this is good. Obviously, that's obviously expected. Game designer and entrepreneur, that is good. And then obviously you've got the big man over here, co-founder, the one who bring the 3 million revenue company with 50,000 registered players on his the game company, I believe it was.
Yeah.
So software development, game development, information technology, and entrepreneur. So I think this is like the big tech guy in terms of making the game and functioning it and like bringing it along in terms of advice and kind of just management.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so we've got that. So obviously this was a quick glance. Because the white paper, it had images, but they were very small. So I just wanted to come back here quickly to see them, in big, and then we can go back to here now, which gives a bit more information on different things. So this little blurb below our team of 17 strong and growing with expertise in game design and development, automotive design, user experience, and marketing and management. So they've got a wide range of people with different skills.
I mean, there's that question, isn't there? It's like, how many people do you need to design a game? It's built in Unreal Engine 5, right?
Yep.
So all of that's taken care of.
Yeah.
So you need graphic designers, you need programmers,
Yep.
you need Web3 specialists to build out the NFT side of things.
Yep.
17 people is a big team.
It's a big team.
It's a big team. For a game of this size so far, it's a big team.
Yeah.
And one of the challenges that they're probably going to have is, let's say this game becomes a roaring success. I think $7.5 million fully diluted market cap for this game is wholly undervalued. If they bring AI to this game, this is going to be a $100 million project. And the reason is that they will be the first to market with an AI-based racing game.
Yep.
Nobody in the world has built an AI racing game. You'll be able to go up against the computer. The computer can determine your level of skill. So the question then is, how do they grow from a 17-man team to say a 50-man team? Because everything goes wrong at that point. You've got politics.
Yeah, and there's economies of scale as well.
Economies of scale.
Like you don't, like some companies, unless you're expanding out to multiple games, like you don't need that many people.
No, exactly.
It just becomes a waste. Like with Twitter, or like with that
Yes.
situation. I'm not talking about like a account. I'm talking about the situation where with the amount of workers they had, where they reduced the workers by a ridiculous amount, picked the best ones, and their efficiency hardly went down, and their costs completely dropped.
Exactly.
So there's going to be a point where they don't need to add too many people. But
no.
So we've got some people here. So we've got someone who actually a blockchain developer called Falco. He's actually worked on I believe a different project before, an FPS game. I think one which is actually decently big and actually good. I think we might have looked at it quite a while ago. But he's also worked on different racing games prior to this. So he's got some experience in applying blockchain to these sorts of games. And he's also integrated blockchain to different games which weren't who might not be directly involved with crypto. So he's integrated blockchain and he's made games, or he's worked on games from scratch, which has included, crypto. So he's quite well, I don't want to use the same versed again, word, but he is well versed.
He's a well-oiled blockchain development machine.
Yeah.
Exactly. Not on the scale of the Oracle. But
no enemy. Not at all. No one could anywhere be an enemy.
But still decent.
Yeah.
Now, 17, like we said, 17 strong. We are probably going to run out of time, so should we move on?
Yeah, so quickly, let me glance at the roadmap and then go on to the participation.
Okay. So I'm just trying to work out. I think we've got just under 20 minutes in total. Right. So we've got to give our conclusions as well. Okay. Now, the roadmap, again, there's two ways to look at a roadmap. I'm going to let you go through it, but I'm just going to give you... How I look at a roadmap is it is the roadmap in the future or is the roadmap covering the past?
Mm,
That's the way I look at it now. If it's in the middle, so if they're halfway through the roadmap, so you can see what they've achieved and you can see what they're going to try and achieve, you can kind of base their future performance on what they've done in the past. What I don't like about roadmaps is roadmaps that start in 2024 and end in 2030. It's just such an ambitious roadmap. You've no idea if they're going to achieve it.
Yep.
Whereas if you've got a roadmap where they're coming to the end of the roadmap, they should have already produced the next roadmap, if you know what I mean. They should already be roadmaps leading out. And the question is, how long is a piece of string? How long should a roadmap be? In my opinion, your roadmap should be 2 years. 2 years going backwards and 2 years going forwards. Now, I've said all that, and I haven't seen the roadmap yet.
Right. So we're in Q2 2024.
Yeah.
The only other previous one we have is Q1 2024. And we've got Q3 2024 and whatnot, and going on basically the whole 24. And then we've got 2025 as a global like meta. Like it's not any quarters; it's just a general thing.
Okay.
So what they've done so far within Q1, and then we can have a look at Q2. Core game mechanics and features, blockchain and NFT integration, play-to-earn mechanics, marketing and launch activities. Basically setting up the entire system.
Yeah.
So basically making the game and have planned the game and marketing and launch activities. So I believe they've probably worked on it. I don't believe they can make a game in 3 months.
No.
So they've definitely probably worked on it within 2023.
Yeah.
So they probably already had something going on in 2023. There's no way they've made a game in 3 months with everything involved. Unless they have, that's the most efficient thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Q2, so where we are right now. So new vehicle types and categories, advanced track designs and environments, enhanced NFT assets and customization, improved play-to-earn mechanics. So they're basically just adding on to what they've done previously, which is what they're doing right now. Yeah. And kind of expanding upon what they've done previously in Q1 and probably before. Yeah. So Q3 and Q4 going on towards the latter end of this year. Co-op and team racing modes, very cool. Community-driven content, okay, great. Esports and competitive racing, and cross-platform compatibility. So they really want to make this. So within Q3, they're going to make this a contender for one of the hugest, biggest games. Yeah. To have all these systems, so that's going to be pretty cool. Especially the cross-platform compatibility. Be interested to see what sort of systems they're on. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't expect them to be on consoles because there's not really a lot of crypto in terms of consoles. But probably like mobile.
Well, this is the question that Kishan asked in chat before.
Right.
Is this a PC only game? And I imagine, like you've just said, cross-platform will be PC, Mac, and mobile games. That's how I would imagine. There's no way
they're not going to have classics.
Yeah, exactly. Not yet, anyway. I mean, we've talked before about Xbox and PlayStation talking about launching blockchain games in the near future. Yeah. Bear in mind, this is the kind of game that would appear on Xbox and
absolutely.
You are going to get the Fortnites of this world and things like that starting to introduce blockchain over time. But I imagine at some point in the future, Xbox and PlayStation are going to have a kind of Web3 area on their platform. Now, what kind of games are they going to have in a Web3 area? They're going to have racing games. Yep. They're going to have FPS games. They're going to have, adventure games, card games, like, whatever it might be. So as far as I'm concerned, building on some mobiles and things like that, that's kind of what you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that is again, a decent roadmap. And you know what? It's actually not that bad.
No.
If you look at it, it's not that bad. We know where they've been. They've done Q1. We're in Q2 already. We know that the token is going live in the next 4 or 5 days. I think it's one of those projects where, it's suck it and see, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, you know what we forgot to mention as well is that people watching the stream will be able to get some tokens from us. We are going to pick a couple of people at random and we're going to give them some of the tokens when the token goes live. We did it on Saturday when we did that other token. Yeah. We are going to be giving those tokens out in the next few days. We're going to do the same thing with that. So we are going to give people some of these tokens anyway. Okay. Now, before we've got about 5 or 10 minutes left.
Well, before we move on, there's more I want to talk about.
Oh, there's more, sorry.
So obviously Q4 can glance over this. Themed expansions, new racing environments and challenges, collaborations with real-world brands, advanced play-to-earn mechanics. Yeah, cool, whatever. But 2025, continuous game updates and improvements. Cool. But this one, augmented and virtual reality integration.
Wow.
That seems very, very cool. Global community efforts and events and participations, research and development. Yeah, those are like general like umbrella like ideas which they would have expanded on anyway. But the main one, augmented and virtual reality integrations. Interestingly, more augmented.
Yeah.
Virtual reality makes sense. Obviously, they just chuck the game on in a headset and there you go. Augmented though, that's like having it within your reality.
Well, imagine you've got the racetrack on your bed.
That would be cool.
And you can actually watch it.
That'd be very
I
cool.
don't know if you've seen the clip of Star Wars.
No.
So this guy was in the middle of his town somewhere in France. It was a little village in France, and he put his augmented reality glasses on, and you could see AT-ATs and stormtroopers
that's pretty cool.
just walking around his town.
That is very cool.
But that's where we are
So far.
with progress.
Yeah.
So when you look at something like this, like I said, you can have a racetrack on your bed. You can go to a park. You can sit there. You can do a battle royale in the middle of your, middle of the field and stuff like that.
Yep.
I mean, we are there. The problem with the internet was people didn't have the technology to get on. They didn't have the hardware to get onto the internet.
Yeah.
That took a lot of time. Augmented and virtual reality, the only real barrier now is adoption, and adoption comes from the hardware.
Yep.
And I know these headsets are like $500 or $600, and I know they're expensive, especially if you buy the Apple ones. But when you've got, you're not going to get people to buy augmented reality kit if you haven't got really cool things for them to play.
Exactly.
I'm not the greatest racer in the world. I used to play, was it Test Drive? Was that the biggest one there used to be? I think Test Drive's one of the biggest games. So anything like that, yes. But nowadays, it's so technical, I can't figure it out. So, right. So is that the roadmap done?
That's it. Yeah. I don't think we have anything else to cover. So I've moved on to participation.
Okay.
And basically the outro area for the GateIO project page.
All right. Okay. Right. Do you want to go through how to participate?
Absolutely. Let me scroll down. Oh, where is it again? I forgot.
So for those of you watching that are not watching on GateIO, there is a link directly underneath the video. The first of its kind, probably. What I'll do, Daniel, is I'm going to put some links into the Telegram group later on. So I'm going to show you. I'll put a couple of things in there so you can go and see it about this project and other things as well. So it's worth looking at. But the participation, if you're on a different channel that we're streaming on right now, if you look underneath, it says streaming live on GateIO, and here we review the project currently available on GateIO, and there is a link, and that link takes you to the startup page. That will take you to the RGames startup page. So what Brogan is going to go through now, that's the page that you're going to get to if you come over and go to GateIO.
Yep. So this is I'm going to read out the participation guide.
Yeah.
For mobile and web users. So if you are on the web, log into your GateIO account, click on Startup on the homepage to access the startup page. I should probably do this, it's easy to see. There we go. Actually, no, it's quite small. Hopefully the images are fine on the... There it is, yeah, perfect. So go to the little drop down. This is actually here. Go to Startup. Click on the projects in progress to navigate to the subscription project page. So if I take that route as well, so you go to the project area for the startup. You have the in progress area. You can scroll through and you will find RGames. So do that and then click $0 free to claim. I believe there's obviously different VIP status positions, and you can do different things if you have different VIP.
Yeah. Basically, they've launched something new actually on GateIO, which is if you hold 10 Gate GT tokens, you can claim more of the airdrops.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know if anybody noticed, but the GateIO token went up about 300% in the last week. So it's now about $10 a GateIO token, something like that, $9 now. So you need to hold 90 to 100 GateIO tokens, and you'll have access to pretty much all of the airdrops.
Yeah.
So that's something it's important. And the thing is, yes, you have VIP 5 and VIP 6, which is tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars. But VIP 1 really isn't that expensive, and you get about 5 to 10 airdrops a week.
Yep.
So you are earning every week in these other tokens, you know, whether it be this token or the previous token we covered. You get those tokens every week, and you can convert them into a Gate token if you want, or in instances like this, you might want to hold them.
Yeah.
So there's lots of different ways to, you know, to participate on GateIO, and it is incredibly active. I can't mention the names of other exchanges, but it's way more active than a lot of other exchanges, and it's well worth checking out. And yes, we are fans of the startup section on the website. I probably check it, I'd say twice a day to go through it. So sorry, you want to go through the participation thing?
Yeah, I mean, that was basically it for the web. On the mobile, you just go to the startup little like quick shortcut. Obviously, if you don't have that, you go some more and you'll find it on the list. And then you basically just click it. It's going to be in progress area. It's actually the first thing you see on the list anyway. So scroll down, you find it, do the same thing. That's it. It's not very hard.
Exactly. So, end of the day, I think what we should probably do now is give our conclusion.
Yep.
Now, you always make me give the conclusion first.
Yes.
Do you want me to give my conclusion first?
Yes. Go on.
Okay. First of all, every single crypto project that hasn't launched is speculative, right? So we said at the beginning, proof is in the pudding. We don't even know what the pudding tastes like. We can only smell it. On face value, they have done things the right way. On face value, they have the right size team. If somebody said to me, this team is, they've got 150 people in the team or 200 people in the team, I'd think their burn rate on this project is too high. They don't, they've got 17. So the team size is fine. The experience is good within the team. They've built, most people don't know. When we talk about things off stream, I say to Brogan, if I was a game developer, I would go to Brogan and say, go and get me the 10 biggest selling games of all time, and then go and copy the game mechanics and make me a platform where you can play all 10 games. And I would guarantee you that second or third on that list would be racing games.
Yeah.
You've got Super Mario Karts, you've got Test Drive, you've got all these different types of games. So you're never going to go wrong with a racing game.
No.
That's point number 2. So team is good. The niche that it's in is good. Number 3, Binance Smart Chain and Solana. Great chains for the project to be on. Personally, I would have picked both of those chains. If you say pick 2 chains to be on, I'd have picked Solana. First of all, it's the biggest retail chain and going to be the biggest retail chain in the future. Binance Smart Chain will come second or third behind them. All of the buzz is around Solana. It's the best place to launch. It has an awful lot of liquidity. This token, how on earth is it valued at $300,000? It's utter nonsense.
Yeah.
Even at launch, this project is $20-30 million. They're launching it at 7.5. Now, again, I'm not telling you to go and buy this token at all. I'm telling you that I think it's undervalued. I think they have a sensible sized team. I think they've picked the right niche to do it in.
Yep.
They've built the play to earn out, the rent to earn out. There's no fault with this project other than adoption, and we cannot tell you if it's going to be adopted because it hasn't gone live. So it's one of those where on face value, for me, I'm probably going to play the game and see how it works.
Yeah.
But we need to see how it goes in the future. For me, this is a solid 8.5 out of 10. That's my conclusion, and we're going to run out of time. We've got 6 minutes left for you to do your outro.
6 minutes. Oh, okay. I will take 20 seconds saying what I think. I think it's one of the better looking games of the entire Web3 I've seen. There's only really like a couple which compare in terms of quality and value, an actual chance of it succeeding, and it do succeeding, because the models look really cool. And I think the most important part, and why I think not recommend it, but I think it's going to be as successful as I think it might be, is because of what we read in the white paper and what they're planning to do, and from what it looks like so far as well. If they, and like you said, with not projects which haven't been released yet, they're all speculative. We haven't seen a single bit of this. It's like reading. Obviously, I know, like he said, smelling the pie, but for me, it's like just reading the instructions and reading the ingredients of
Yeah.
the pie. Like, we know what's going to be there and what we're hoping to be there.
Yeah.
It's just being made to cook. So we could put the oven on for way too long and way too fast, and we could burn it all and ruin it. So there's a chance of it. Obviously, there's a non-zero chance of it flopping.
Yeah.
But I think the rent to earn or the rent to own and that NFT kind of sphere of functionality is really cool. I really like that aspect of it. The co-op and the crossplay, very cool. It seems accessible because even if you have a really good PC, but it doesn't quite match up to the quality of the Unreal Engine 5, whatever they're using, you can get an Android emulator on your computer and it'll run the phone version just fine. So it means I'm glad that they've done that because it means pretty much most people can play it.
Yeah. I've got a question.
Go on.
Solo Sky has asked, what is the price? So I've done some rough calculations. Did they say that the fully diluted market cap would be $7.5 million?
I
think
don't
it was.
remember.
Well, let's say it was.
Okay.
That would give the token a value of just under 1 cent per token.
Okay.
If that helps. Now, obviously, I'm not going to tell you it's going to go to $1 or anything like that, but I do think it'll appreciate in value if the game works. Sorry to interrupt.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, that was pretty much it, to be honest. I think it's going to be I hope it's going to be very successful. I think they're setting themselves up for success.
Yeah.
I think it looks very cool.
Absolutely, absolutely, it does. Well, like I said on the stream, we hopefully will be getting an airdrop of these tokens ourselves.
Yeah.
And if we do, what we will do is we will pick 2 or 3 people out of the list of people that have been commenting. So Mags, Tartaland, Tariq, Velvet, Solo Sky, Gianni, all of the people who have commented on this video. We're going to probably do a giveaway at some point in the near future, and we will give away some of these tokens to you so you don't have to buy them or anything like that. But strongly recommend going to GateIO, joining the startup and trying to get some tokens for free yourself. We like giving free things to people because there's no risk taken on by you. So if we're given tokens, we will give you tokens. If there is a possibility of getting free tokens, we will give you that as well. So with all that being said, we are ever so grateful for the massive amount of people that have been watching this stream on the multiple platforms.
Yeah.
We would be here without you. If it was just us and Solo Sky and us and Tariq, we'd still do it. Or if it was just Danny or Tata, we'd still do it. If we can help one person over the next 2 years be financially free or become financially independent, then that's our job done, isn't it?
Exactly.
So we love talking to you all. We love feedback. We love people asking us questions. You're not interfering. You're not getting in the way. Kishan isn't annoying us by asking us all these questions.
No.
Keep asking the questions. We'll keep trying to make videos. We'll keep trying to find projects like this that are good or we think are good, and we will be back. What day is it tomorrow? Friday. I'll be back streaming at 11 o'clock tomorrow. Brogan may be back on Sunday.
Yeah.
Brogan will be doing a special AMA on Sunday where he will be talking about what happens if ETH ETFs are approved or if they're rejected. So he'll be back on Sunday. I'll be streaming Friday and Saturday, and Brogan will be streaming on Sunday. So this week we are streaming 7 days a week. 7 days. In fact, 9-10 times we've streamed this week. Every single day, that's 7. 2 trading shows. And this. So 10 times we've streamed.
10 times. If
How
we're not
about
committed,
that?
if it doesn't prove commitment, and that you should
follow
follow or subscribe or whatever.
Exactly.
Then,
but thank you to everybody that's watched, and we will see you next time. Take care, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Come on, Fitzy. Come on, Fitzy.
bye.